What's up, you mad dogs? This is my full card prediction and breakdown video for this week's UFC Fight Night. Mosvar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy, UFC London. And we got a fucking banger we do, mate. We really do. I feel like we're in for a pretty good card. I feel like we've got a decent card on our hands here. Some good finishes in store on their way. I know I say that shit every week, but I really do feel like there's some potential to have some good highlight reel finishes here. I feel Austin Lane's getting slimed out again. I don't know why he's still in the fucking UFC. I'm not too sure about the bout order here. Luke Riley in the co-main event. I understand that he's a good prospect coming out of the region, but man, you got Michael Page and Sam Patterson. Both of these guys have been in the UFC for some time now, whereas these two haven't been in the UFC for that long. So, and these guys have much higher name value here. I feel like there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of fights on this card, especially in the lower prelims, that could be up on the main event here. But I'm not going to sit here and whinge about it too much. I think we've got a good card in store for us. No matter what fucking order the fights are in, I feel like they're going to be good. I feel like they will deliver. I really hope they do, because it is an overnight card here for us. It starts at 3 a.m. with 2 fucking women's fights in a row. It's going to be a slow start. It will be a slow start, but as this shit builds, I feel like we're going to have a pretty good one in store for us. We'll get some good highlight performances out of the card. And I think a lot of the English fighters will do pretty well here as well. Let's jump into the card. For the first fight of the night, I'm going to do something a little bit different with this one. I feel like this fight could go either way. We've got Melissa Mullins, who will mix in the grappling, look to gain some control, dominant position. She's all right, mid on the feet. Luana Carolina, she's inconsistent, but she's had some pretty good wins along the way. At first, I was thinking Mullins. I've lent more to the side of Luana Carolina, but I'm still 50-50, you know. So I do an old-fashioned coin flip here. I feel like that's a good way to really knuckle down on who's going to win this. So we'll say heads for Melissa Mullins and tails for Luana Carolina. Let's fucking. All right, we got tails. So Luana Carolina, she's going to be my pick for this fight, and I'm going to say she wins it by decision. Her path to victory here is keep it on the feet, keep the distance, and strike. I feel like she will be better on the feet. She will be more dynamic on the feet. I know I just fucking flipped the coin to make my choice on this fight, but like I said, I feel like this one could go either way. It's always like that with the women's MMA fights, especially at this level, like entry level women's MMA. You never know. So I'm going to say Luana Carolina gets it done. I'm kind of glad the coin flip went that way, because most recently I was leaning her way. Yeah, she gets it done by decision. I'm going to leave it at that. Second fight of the night, we have Chanel Dyer versus Ravina Oliveira. No coin flip here, guys. All right, I'm going to go with Chanel Dyer. I think she can get it done by decision. I could maybe see like a late round TKO. Is that what I initially picked? No. No, she gets it done by decision. That's going to be my pick for this fight. She's a very clean kickboxer. She has very good kicks. Good with the teeps, good with the low kicks. She had a very good fight on Contender Series where she did get dropped a lot. So there is a worry on her chin. I know the fight before that, she did have a lot of troubles with that as well. But she's coming up against someone in Ravina Oliveira who's not all that, you know. She can mix up the grappling. She's been submitted 2 times though. She's got she does have a 100% finish rate as far as her wins go, but it is all regional levels. Since joining the UFC, she's 0-2. So I feel like Chanel Dyer is going to be a little bit more dynamic on the feet. I feel like she's going to have the advantage on the feet. I think Ravina Oliveira will want to mix in the grappling here. I think she will try. And I think she will have some early success, but I feel like as this fight builds, I can see Chanel Dyer taking it away and winning the fight based off of damage with the striking. And just keeping the fight on the feet for longer than it is on the ground. Ravina's not like this crazy grappler that's going to hold you down and fucking do what she wants with you. So I think Chanel Dyer can get it done with the striking. 29-28 decision. That's going to be my pick for this fight. Next fight of the night, we have Shamrock versus Abdul Karim Alselwady. I'm going to go with Shamrock. I'm going to say he gets a submission here. Now, he's got really good submissions. Very dangerous on the ground. He's good on the feet. He's got very good kicks. Very dangerous with the kicks. But he is susceptible to the pressure with the boxing. He had a lot of troubles with the boxing of the Tajik Eagle. Why can't I think of his name right now? I think of his fucking nickname, but not his name. It'll come to me. He had troubles with the boxing in that fight. He had his moments as the fight went on, but early on it looked like he was going to get finished. He has been chinned once before. But I think I'm using the word dynamic a lot here. I've already used it twice for the first two fights. I feel like he's going to be a little bit more dynamic on the feet. He's going to have success with those kicks. Selwady, he throws everything with like all the power that he's got. So he does throw hitters, but in his fight with Loic Ruzaboev, can't think of the dude's last name. He looked a bit like a victim out there, you know? He had his moments landing big shots at times, even cracking the dude. Like I said, he throws with some big power, and it seems like he just throws that with every shot. So he does have a danger of putting him out. He's got like 8 knockouts on the record. And he can mix in the grappling too, but I don't think he's going to want to do that here because Shamrock does have that very dangerous submission threat. But I think Shamrock will have success at distance with the kicks, and I think he's going to be able to tie up the clinch and eventually find his way to a submission in the second round. I think we'll probably see a bit of a back and forth here on the feet. I think maybe we could see a Selwady round 1 win, maybe land in the boxing early on, maybe getting through with some big power shots and having Shamrock on the ropes, kind of backing up a bit. But I feel like Shamrock will be able to pull it off here, get to work with those kicks, eventually get the fight to the ground, maybe out of a clinch or something like that, and work his way to a submission. I'm going to say he gets it done in the second round. That's going to be my pick for this fight. I'll move on to the next one. Louis Sutherland versus Brando Percic. I'm going with Brando Percic here. I think he's going to win this fight by knockout. Now, Louis Sutherland, he's coming off a loss, but it was to Volta Walker. He lost by heel hook. Surprise, surprise. That's just what Volta Walker does, man. I am a little bit worried here. I think Brando Percic is pretty good. He's very good with the striking. He's got big power in the hands. And he's pretty measured as well as far as a heavyweight goes. You look at Louis Sutherland and you're thinking, oh, this guy's a bit of a blob. He's probably coming in looking like all the other blobs. But he's not bad. He's not bad. I was watching one of his fights in the regional scene, and he's pretty good with the striking. He's good with his boxing. He throws in combinations too. He's not just throwing one shot, big hitter, fucking power bombs, just trying to knock you out with one shot. He does throw in combinations. He ends combinations with kicks, and he does good. He does good. So I don't think this is going to be the easiest fight ever. I think this is a pretty good test. Even though he hasn't got a win in the UFC yet, so we don't really know what that level is, but it is heavyweight after all, so the level even isn't that high in the UFC when it comes to it, you know? But I am going to say that Brando Percic gets this done by knockout. I'm going to say he gets it done in the first round, late in the first round, after a bit of a back and forth. Louis Sutherland has pretty good leg kicks, so I could see him getting to work with those early and maybe causing some troubles. But I think Percic can get through it and get the job done here. Knockout in the first round at the back end of the round. Maybe a round 2, but I'm going to lean the first round later in the round. Next fight of the night, we have Mantas Kondratavicius. Did I nail that? Versus Antonio Trocoli. What the fuck? What is Antonio Trocoli still doing in the fucking UFC, bro? I was surprised when I came on to I always look at the fucking UFC this week, looking at the bout order. I was so shocked to see this dude's name pop up once again. Bruh. Standing fucking guillotine choke by Trayshawn Gore. His other losses weren't to opponents who are that bad, but the Trayshawn Gore one, I mean, brother, he's going to lose this fight by knockout. I'm going with Kondratavicius to win this fight by brutal knockout in the very first round. Antonio Trocoli's only real threat here is his grappling. If he wants to get in the clinch and tie up a submission, pull guard or some shit like that, but I do not see it happening. He has not found any success whatsoever in the UFC since being here. And he's just, once again, he's looked like a victim. Looked like a victim in all of his fights. No resistance whatsoever. Coming off a submission loss to Abdul Razak Al Hassan. No, that's the wrong one. Mansur Abdul Malik. Fucking hell. They're two different fighters. Those are two very, very fucking different fighters. So I don't know. Yeah. Same name. Kondratavicius. I'm not going to overthink this one. He's going to slime out Antonio Trocoli bad in the first round. He's got big power. He's coming off that Contender Series win where he just knocked the dude out badly in the first round. It was against a pretty decent, prospect. It was a 7-0, I believe. I think he was a French dude. So maybe that takes away. No, he wasn't French. He was something else. But what I'm saying is he was 7-0. So he wasn't that bad, you know? And that was in the Contender Series. And he put him out bad early. And I think he's going to do the same thing again here against Trocoli, who you can't rate. You cannot rate him. As far as what he's shown in the UFC so far, you cannot rate him. And I will be surprised if this fight goes any other way. That's a fucking lock for me. All right. Next fight of the night, we have Mario Pinto versus unlocked character or locked character Felipe Franco. I'm going with Mario Pinto here. He's going to be levels above Felipe Franco. I think this is a short notice matchup. I think he was supposed to fight someone else. I believe so. Because this matchup is fucking god-awful for Felipe Franco. Franco is coming off 2 wins in a row after his loss on the Contender Series last year. And that loss was to someone who is not good. He's not good in Freddie Vidal. And he pushed a grappling pace for 2 rounds and tired out badly, eventually getting submitted in the 3rd round. The dude that beat him eventually got another shot on the Contender Series later in the season and fucking lost badly early. So that loss stands out as something quite big to me. And I think he's going to get dominated here no matter where this fight goes. Mario Pinto is a really good prospect at heavyweight. And after this, I think the UFC really needs to start looking at building him up there into the fucking ranks, you know? And stop giving him these fucking cans to crush. Because, man, he can do it all. He's got good grappling, good striking, mixes it up well. Good in the clinch, just dominates once he's on top position. Good all round. Fucking good all round. Very good prospect. And I'm very high on Mario Pinto. Coming off of that very dominant win over Jonata Deniz, who's a very good kickboxer. He took him to the ground, dominated him from top position, ended up getting the 2nd round TKO with ground and pound strikes. I feel like something similar is going to happen here. Felipe Franco is not afraid to grapple. He does have a submission threat, but very regional stuff. Like I said, that loss on the Contender Series really stands out to me, and I don't see a world where he wins this fight. Mario Pinto by knockout in round number 2. That's going to be my pick for this fight. Next fight of the night, we have Nathaniel Wood versus Losine Keita. We've seen this happen so many fucking times, guys. We've seen this happen so many fucking times. And so many times, it goes the way of the guy who's already in the UFC. Last year, Lerone Murphy knocked out Aaron Pico badly. Whoever fucking Pitbull fought, I can't remember right now, but didn't win. You know? We see this shit. It's a trend. Losine Kita, he's a very dangerous striker, but I feel like he's pretty one-dimensional. I feel like that's all he's really got to bring. He is very powerful. He's very dangerous. He has a lot of knockouts on the record. But he's coming up against someone in Nathaniel Wood who just had a very, very close fight, which went his way by split decision. I don't agree with the decision over Jose Delgado, who just got a good win last week against Andre Fili. Jose Delgado is a very good prospect, and Nathaniel Wood kept it very, very close with him, getting the win on the judges' scorecards. And he should be on quite a big win streak here. I feel like the fight with Muhammad Naimov, it should have went the way of Nathaniel Wood, but the judges scored it the opposite. So he should be on a pretty big win streak right now. Now he's crafty. He's very crafty. He can do it all. He can mix in the grappling. He's good with the boxing, good with the kicks, just good all around. Once again, a very tricky opponent to beat. I feel like this matchup is much harder than that Patricio Pitbull matchup which Chiesa was supposed to get. I think Nathaniel Wood is going to win this fight. And I'm going to say he gets this fight to the ground. I'm going to say he wins this fight by round 2 submission. Now that might be a little bit of a wild call, but I feel like he's got pretty decent fight IQ, and I feel like knowing Chiesa is very dangerous on the feet, and Nathaniel Wood does get rocked in a lot of his fights, so I think he's going to want to mix in the grappling at least a little bit, and I think he's going to find success there. I've seen him do it before at times in certain fights, certain matchups. I feel like that's going to happen. I could see it going to a decision and him winning a decision based off points and damage, outworking him with the more technical striking. Chiesa does throw pretty wild at times. He's not crazy, like, he doesn't throw crazy, like, way too much fucking, what fucking words I'm trying to find here? He doesn't overstep a whole lot too much, but he does throw pretty wild while staying kind of patient. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. He's wild, but he's not Terrence McKinney wild. Okay, that's a pretty good way to put it. You know, when they get their fucking opponent hurt and then they just lose a chromosome instantly. Not like that, all right? But he does throw wild and he leaves himself out there. I think Nathaniel Wood is going to be able to take advantage of this moment and get the win. I'm going to say he gets it done by submission in the second round. Take Chiesa out of his wheelhouse. Take it to the ground where he might find some problems and find a submission. As an underdog. Like I said, we've seen this many fucking times where a guy's coming in from out of the UFC, coming from the PFL or Bellator or some shit like that, comes in as a heavy favorite against someone who's proven in the UFC. Not even just someone who's had a couple of fights, couple wins, couple losses. Someone who's proven. Nathaniel Wood's proven. It's like when Aaron Pico came in against Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy was a $2.20 underdog. As a fucking 16-0, undefeated, high-level experienced fighter. It doesn't make sense to me. It's a trend that it seems to just keep happening. And I think this is the same shit all over again. Take advantage of this fucking line, all right, guys? Nathaniel Wood is going to win this fight. Hopefully he doesn't get fucking chinned. Every time I fucking really sit on these picks, they tend to go the other way. So hopefully he doesn't get fucking chinned. But Nathaniel Wood by submission in round number 2. That's going to be my pick for that fight. Next fight of the night, we have Mason Jones versus Axel Sola. Mason Jones, very good, very well-rounded prospect. 17-2. This is his second run in the UFC. He's coming off a very good win over Balaji Oki, where he dealt with some troubles early on. He got cracked badly, but he survived. And he's shown that he's been able to do that a lot in fights. He can get cracked at moments on the feet, but he's good. He's very good, very resilient, very good survivability. And I feel like he's going to win this fight. Sola, he's coming in off of that win over Rhys McKee, which was at welterweight. It was a bit of a sloppy fight. He eventually got the knockout in the third round. I feel like it was a little bit of an early stoppage, but the body language that Rhys McKee gave in that moment, I can understand why that fight got stopped. But he wasn't out, you know. And he's a very good kickboxer. He's neat with it, you know. Good on the back foot, uses kicks well. He's got good power, puts combinations together pretty well. But he can be taken down. He can be taken down and controlled a little bit on the ground. And I think that's where the difference is in this fight. I think Mason Jones has that well-rounded ability to be able to mix it up, get it to the ground. He's very good at mixing it up, getting to the ground, getting to dominant position and landing ground and pound or looking for a submission. And I think he's going to have success doing that here. I feel like he's going to be much better. We could see some early troubles here on the feet. Potentially see Mason Jones get cracked at one point and then mix in the grappling to slow the fight down a bit. But yeah, I feel like he's going to get this done. I reckon he gets it done by knockout, man. I reckon he's going to win a TKO victory. I think he's going to be able to tire Sola out because he does have very good pressure. He won't give you a break. He will not give you a break. He'll stay on the pace, work his jab, work his kicks, and yeah, just keep you working for the whole fucking fight. Sola at the end of round 1 in the fight with Rhys McKee, he was saying, "I'm tired" to his coaches. And his coaches had to be like, "No, you're not tired. You're not tired. You're going to do this." And that was at the end of round 1. Yes, he did get the TKO in the third round, but still, I think that needs to be mentioned. I think Mason Jones has very good cardio. He's very good everywhere, very well-rounded. And I think he's going to be able to put that experience and that well-roundedness onto Sola here and wear him out. And I'm going to say around 2 or 3 TKO victory by ground and pound. I'm going to lean the second round for that one. Mason Jones, he gets it done. That's going to be my pick. For the first fight on the main card, we got Blinky Curtis Campbell versus Danny Silva. This is a tough matchup for your debut. Danny Silva, he's got tricks in the bag, you know. He's pretty good on the striking. He's neat, you know. He's neat. He's not a can. And Curtis Campbell, he's coming in as a pretty big prospect, coming off of his Contender Series win, which was a dominant win. I feel like it was a pretty good matchup for him, to be fair. I think he's going to win this fight by decision, Curtis Campbell. That's going to be my pick. I think he can get this fight to the ground. He's got very good entries on his takedowns. He can get it to the ground, mix it up. He's got good striking. He does have a lot of Thai fights earlier in his career. He can do it all. So I think he's going to be able to mix it up well here and work his way to a 29-28 decision. Out-damaging, outworking Danny Silva. I think Danny Silva will have his moments. Maybe win a round. I feel like he will at least win one round. But I think Curtis Campbell is going to be able to get the control time and work his way to dominant positions. Possibly look for a submission. Possibly look for areas where he can find a TKO with ground and pound. Because he does look for that. He doesn't just hold you and look to stall out the fight. He does work to deal damage. He does work to look for that finish. I think it's going to be pretty hard here because Danny Silva is very durable. He's coming off of the decision loss to Kevin Vallejos, so I feel like that's saying a bit because Kevin Vallejos is just starching everyone else out at this moment. Yeah, I feel like Curtis Campbell will win a 29-28 decision here. That's going to be my pick for this fight. Next fight of the night, Roman Dolidze comes plotting around the cage once again. Coming up against Christian Leroy Duncan, who I think is absolutely going to put this dude to work. I'm going with Christian Leroy Duncan here. I'm going to say he wins the decision. I think he can just piece up Roman Dolidze across 3 rounds. Dolidze has a pretty good chin. So I don't know if I can see... I'm not that confident on a knockout. I could see it happening because Dolidze is getting older now. He's taken a lot of damage in his career. that last fight would have taken a lot out of his soul. Like his confidence after that last fight surely had to take a hit after that devastating loss to Anthony Hernandez, where he just got bullied across 4 rounds and then dragged across the floor in a choke to get subbed out in the 4th. Seriously bad as far as how that's going to affect your confidence going into your next fight. Now, Christian Leroy Duncan, he's not going to come in and put that same style of fighting on where he's going to come and take you down. I think he will clinch a bit. I think he will look to work in the clinch and land elbows and shit like that. And just piece him up on the feet. He is very, very dynamic on the feet. Once he gets going, he can lack output in fights. Like he's had moments in certain fights where he's just, lacking that output a little bit. He's coming off of a very good win over Marco Tulio where he knocked him out, who is a very good prospect, by the way. Knocked out Marco Tulio in the 2nd round. He was like a fucking Bayer blade in that fight, by the way. I've actually got a Bayer blade sitting here somewhere. Bought some at the shop the other day. Where are you at? Where are you at? Nah, I don't know. Yeah. He was like a fucking Bayer blade in that fight. He was spinning way too much. I don't like that in this matchup because if Roman Dolidze somehow gets his fight to the ground, he could submit Christian Leroy Duncan. He's got very good submissions. He does have very good grappling, very elite submission threat. Don't see that happening here though. Feel like he's too old, too slow. Too slow is a big one for me. He just plots around the cage like a fucking flat-footed fucking caveman, man. It's something to watch. It's something to watch. I think Christian Leroy Duncan will put on a pretty good performance here and just piece up Roman Dolidze across 3 rounds and outpoint him 30-27 decision. That's going to be my pick for this fight. Next fight of the night, we have what should be a round 1 slime out. Now, there's going to be a pretty big height disadvantage here, a height difference here on the side of Austin Lane. Like, he's going to be way bigger. 6'6". He's huge. He is huge. He's coming down from heavyweight to light heavyweight. And Iwo Baraniewski, he's not the biggest light heavyweight. He's not that tall. So this could look funny, the way these guys shape up against each other in the cage. And I was going to go with the submission here because Iwo does have good grappling and he does have a good submission threat. But I feel like with that height difference, the overhands of Iwo we've seen in the last fight, he's swinging wild. That last fight, by the way, I still watch that shit to this day. Just if I've got a spare 2 minutes, I'll just chuck Iwo Baraniewski versus Ibo Aslan on. That shit will get your fucking blood pumping, all right? That was an insane fight. He got dropped a couple of times in that fight, but survived, stayed in it, and fucking put Ibo Aslan out badly. I'm going to say the same thing happens here. If Austin Lane gets something landed on his chin, he's going out cold. It's as simple as that. He's been chinned 6 times now. Iwo coming off 2 round 1 knockout wins in a row. I don't want to say the MMA math adds up, but the MMA math kind of adds up here, Iwo Baraniewski, I was going to say he hits a good old-fashioned club and sub. But then I went and watched back fucking Austin Lane versus Mario Pinto, where he just got starched. Absolutely starched with the overhand and just put out absolutely cold. Absolutely cold. Maybe with the power difference in light heavyweight, I feel like Baraniewski has very good power in the hands. Maybe it's a little bit of difference there, and maybe he can take his shot a bit better. And maybe we see a submission. But I feel like no matter what, Iwo Baraniewski is going to win this fight in the very first round by finish. I'm leaning the side of the knockout now. I don't see a world where Austin Lane wins this shit. Maybe in a crazy timeline that height difference means something here, but I don't think it does. I do not think it does. Iwo Baraniewski is going to be my pick for this fight by finish in the first round. And that brings us to the feature bout. Michael Venom Page versus Sam Patterson. We all know Michael Page. aura farming around the cage, throwing one or two strikes every fucking minute, looking for counters, hands down, showboating. This is what Michael Page does. He's had a good run in the UFC so far. His only loss came to Ian Garry, and that was by decision. Other than that, he's looked all right. He's looked pretty good. He's made his opponents look a little bit silly. He's coming up against Sam Patterson, who hasn't fought at the level that Michael Page has been fighting at. I'm going to say Sam Patterson wins this fight by a second round submission. That's how I think this fight goes. I think it could be a knockout too. I do. Going into predicting this fight, I'm thinking what a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, Michael Page is fucking levels above this dude. I'm really high on Sam Patterson. I really am. I know he got knocked out in his lightweight debut. Lightweight was not for him. Simple as that. I don't want to go out and say, oh, he only lost because he was drained of weight. I know how that sounds, but he's big. He matches up height and reach-wise with Michael Venom Page here. They are even Steven in that department. At lightweight, that's fucking ginormous. He is a massive lightweight. So coming up to welterweight, I think was absolutely the right move. And I think that's showed. He's on a 4-fight, first round finish streak. Looking like a world beater. Now, they get some decent wins in there too, man. Like putting out Danny Barlow out cold. I don't rate Danny Barlow all that much, but he put him out badly. Put a striker out badly. Someone who came in undefeated, looking like a fucking sick striker, powerful left hand, came in looking quick. Sam Patterson catches him with a counter and puts him down. I picked him to win that fight too. I was fucking going nuts that day. Sam Patterson's going to win this fight. I feel like at the age of 38, bouncing in between weight classes, he last fought at middleweight. Michael Page, I think your time has come, my friend. Sam Patterson's going to get this fight done. I could see a knockout. I could see a submission. He does have very, very good grappling. I feel like he's going to be able to tie up the clinch here at one point and work a body lock takedown or something like that to get the fight to the ground and eventually work on a submission. We've seen Michael Page have trouble with Ian Garry early in the first round, where Ian Garry was in pretty deep on a rear naked choke. Michael Page does have good submission defense, so that needs to be said. He did get out of a very deep submission there against Ian Garry. But you need to look at that and think, all right, how good of a grappler is Ian Garry? Now, I know he's training with Charles Oliveira. He's out in Brazil. You're obviously getting some insane looks there in the grappling. I know. And he's a very high-level fighter too. Without being said, like, it has to be said, but you don't look at Ian Garry and go, oh, this dude's going to come in and fucking submit you, dude. Ian Garry's going to come in here, he's going to take you down and fucking submit you. No one's ever said that. No one's ever said that. I look at Sam Patterson fights and I'm thinking, he's probably going to go in there and submit the dude because he's got very fucking good grappling. I think that's going to happen here. I really do. I feel like with the match in the range and the reach, I know Venom Page can be very hard to hit. It can be very hard to find. He works that range. He works that distance management very, very well. Explodes in. But a lot of the time when he explodes in, he finds himself in that clinch. He does. And I feel like he's going to get into that clinch and Sam Patterson's going to do great work from there. Sam Patterson has good counters of his own. I know Michael Page works the counters very well. And look, maybe we could see him fucking counter Sam Patterson with his chin up because he does leave his chin up there a little bit at times when throwing. I don't think that happens. I don't think that happens. I'm saying Sam Patterson gets it done here. I'm going to say he gets it done in the second round by submission, working into that clinch, waiting to tie it up as Michael Page explodes, or looking to, I think he's just going to get it done there. I think he's going to be able to get to the ground. Or a classic club and sub, catch Page with something, catch him with a big counter or something like that. I know he's hard to catch, so I think that's less likely, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities, all right? Sam Patterson by second round finish. I'm leaning the side of the submission. In the co-main event, we have Luke Riley. Luke Riley, lad? Luke Riley? Gotta work on my fucking Scouse accent, boys. I know, all right? We'll get there, all right? We'll get there. Luke Riley coming in. Second fight in the UFC, coming off of that knockout win over Bogdan Grad. I nailed that fucking fight, pick-wise, play-by-play. Just by the way. Now, I had the blueprint. The fight before that went pretty much the exact same way. And I went into that fight knowing Bogdan Grad will have a grappling edge on him. And I felt like he could get that early round takedown. And that's exactly what he did. But Luke Riley came out in the second and put him out cold. And I think he's going to do the exact same thing again here. Michael Aswell Jr., he's got good boxing. He's got good pressure. He puts on a decent pace. Fuck all power in the hands. His finishing ability isn't that great. Now, he's coming off of a knockout win. So I know what you might be thinking when I say that, but it was against a bum. It was against someone who's not that great. Simon Oliveira, who did have a broken hand in that fight as well. It was just about a layup, as a layup gets. I feel like he could mix in the grappling here. I feel like he can mix in some grappling. He's done it in his older fight, like his more earlier fights. But lately, he's shown to be more of a striker, looking for those boxing exchanges. I feel like in this fight, he's going to want to mix in the grappling, though, because Luke Riley is a very, very good striker. He's been doing it for a very long time. He's very good with the counters, very quick with the hands, and he has a very good power advantage here, I believe. And I feel like, for the most part, this will be a stand-up fight. I do feel like Michael Aswell will want to bring the striking in, will want to look for those exchanges. I think Luke Riley will land on him. He does have a good chin. That needs to be mentioned. I don't think he's been knocked out before. Luke Riley, I think he's going to start landing those shots, landing those counters, and I think Michael Aswell will feel that power, and I think he's going to want to start to engage in the grappling, maybe have some success, but I think as this fight goes on, the damage is going to add up, and Luke Riley is going to find that shot, put Michael Aswell Jr. down. I could see him working his way to a decision, but I think he is going to get that knockout here. TKO, drops him bad with a counter, ground and pound to finish it off. Luke Riley by knockout for his second win in the UFC. That's going to be my pick for the co-main event. And that finally brings us to the fight we've all been waiting for, to be honest. Featherweight bout gives us the answers we need for the featherweight division. Mosvar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. Undefeated versus undefeated. Who gets it done? Who gets it done, man? This is a tough one. This is a really fucking tough fight, man. This is a really tough fight, and it's a very good matchup. I'm glad they are doing this matchup to really give us that solid answer on which one of these guys deserves that next title shot. I'm going with Lerone Murphy. I'm going with Lerone Murphy to win this fight. I'm going with the home advantage, boys. I'm doing it, all right? I'm doing it. I'm taking a risk. I did it a couple weeks ago with Lonnie Kavanagh, but I truly believed he could get it done, and that's exactly what he did. I feel like the same shit is about to happen here. I'm going to get this pick right. No one's picking Lerone Murphy. I've thought about this fight a lot. I think this is going to be a very, very close fight. I think Mosvar, look, obviously, we've got your fucking two worlds of fucking MMA here. grappler, striker. Both of them can do a little bit of the other. Mosvar, he's decent on the feet. He's got good kicks. Lerone Murphy, he's got good defensive grappling. He does get taken down a bit, but he can get back up. He knows what to do. Stays sound defensively with the submissions. I don't think Mosvar's submission threat is that bad. He's not out here dominating guys, holding him down for ages. Arnold Allen was able to give him problems as that fight went on into the third round. And I think that's something that needs to be mentioned here, because Lerone Murphy does have high-level 5-round experience, where Mosvar Evloev, he has been 5 rounds, yes, but that was in the regional scene. He fights once a fucking year, hasn't fought since Arnold Allen, which I think was 2024. I'm pretty sure. Bro, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be pissed the fuck off if somehow this dude wins this fight and then somehow goes out there and beats Volkanovski to go on and be our featherweight champion and fight once a fucking year and a half, bro. I'm going to be pissed off if that happens. I will be, all right? Enough of that rant. Very high level fight here. I think this is going to be fucking down to the wire. I think Evloev will have early success. I think he's going to land his takedowns repeatedly. I think he will probably win the first 2 rounds. But I think Lerone Murphy will build into this fight. Like I said, he's got that 5-round experience. He's been 5 rounds with someone like Josh Emmett. Who else did he fucking fight for 5 rounds? Edson Barbosa. Now I know what you're thinking. Those guys, they're not here at the level of Mosvar Evloev. Those guys have already fallen off. Those guys are old. I know. All right. Josh Emmett just got KO'd in the first round. I know. But it's about the experience, being in the cage with someone who's that high level. This is UFC level. Being in the cage for 25 minutes, that's experience. You're learning. A fighter of, I know Lerone Murphy, he's a bit older, so like he's probably not learning as much these days. He's kind of past the prime as far as like, your age prime. I think about 32 is like the expected prime of a fighter. So he's kind of a little bit past that, but coming off of that brutal spinning elbow knockout over Aaron Pico, a mismatch in my opinion. Man, it is tough. I think Lerone Murphy is going to win this fight by decision, and I think it's going to be like a split decision or a 49, 48, 48, 47, whatever. It's tough. It's tough. It is. It really is. And I had to do a lot of thinking here to really come to the pick of Lerone Murphy, because I feel like it's really easy to go in and say, Mosvar does it. The Russian dude. Yeah, the Russian, undefeated Russian. No shit. It's easy. It's easy to say, Lerone Murphy's got no chance. But I feel like anyone that is thinking Lerone Murphy has 0 chance of winning this, it's fucking retarded, in my opinion. Like, they're both undefeated. They're both high level. I think this is going to be a really good fight. I think we're going to get some decent scrambles. I think Lerone Murphy can threaten like the ninja choke for a defense. I don't think he's going to land it, but I think he can threaten it for a defense. Arnold Allen had a very tight one on Mosvar in the 3rd round there. But as this fight goes on, I think Lerone Murphy's going to be spending more time on the feet, being able to get up a bit easier. I think Evloev will slow down. His shots will be less effective, and those takedowns will start to slow down. I do think he's going to land them quite easily early on. But Lerone Murphy, like I said, he has the get-ups. I think he's going to be able to get back up to the feet. And the more he does that, slows Evloev down, the wrestling starts to slow down a little bit, and Lerone Murphy starts to have his moments on the feet. I think he's going to be able to win this fight 48-47 decision based off of damage, more so off of those last couple of rounds, last 3 rounds. Maybe round 2, round 3, round 5, or round 4, round 5. Something like that. I just feel like as this fight goes on, Evloev will start to slow down a little bit. The takedowns won't be there, won't be as dominant, won't be as persistent. And even though I think Mosvar Evloev is pretty well versed on the feet, and he is very good defensively on the feet, I think that's something that needs to be mentioned. He was making Arnold Allen miss a lot. I feel like Lerone Murphy, he's got the ability to really put it on here as this fight builds. And that experience, the more complete fighter, I'd say. Now, I know you'd say that, in saying that, you'd want to think like, oh, he can come in and grapple, whatever. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like that 5-round experience in the UFC is really something that it can take as an advantage into this fight. Taking that experience, taking that knowledge, and the activity too. He's been in the UFC for a lot longer than Mosvar, or has he? He's definitely been in the UFC. He's definitely had a whole lot more fights than Mosvar, because Mosvar only fucking fights once every fucking 1.5 years. That inactivity does stand out to me quite a lot for this pick as well. I feel like if Mosvar was in here fighting at least once a year, or like once every fucking 8 months or some shit like that, I feel like I could come to an easier decision to say Mosvar's going to win this, no doubt, whatever. But that inactivity, it's another thing that really stands out to me. So I'm going to side with Lerone Murphy to get it done here. Now, I've taken a fucking few risks on this card, boys, all right? I've taken a few risks. So we'll see how it goes. But this is how I think these fights go, truly. Truly. I think this is going to be a great main event. I really hope it is, because I'm going to be up all night watching this shit. I might even I might run a little fight companion stream for this. I'm thinking about it. We'll see how we go. I'll try to set that shit up Saturday night. I ran like a little one a couple of weeks ago just to test the water, see what it's like. Very new to that shit, so we'll see how we go. But I wouldn't mind setting that up, having some cunts to chat to throughout the fights, you know. We'll see how we go, boys. Let me know what you think in the comments if you'd like something like that, all right? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've got to this point of the video, drop a like and a sub if you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know who you got in some of these matchups. Some of these matchups are pretty interesting. So let me know your thoughts below. Drop a like and a sub, and I'll see you in the fucking next one, all right? Goodbye.